Hello, this is my first, yeah, well, I wouldn't say first because it's an old account, but yeah. Okay, a few days ago, Deja Foxx lost the Democratic nominee for Congress in Arizona District 7. It wasn't the worst. Well, yeah. Adelita won, swept, I mean like swept. Okay, over 20,000 votes. No other candidate got over 10K. None of them got over 9K. They only got under 9K. Deja Foxx was the second place. She had 8.6K, I believe. There's going to be a picture on screen. But yeah, this is Deja. A lot of things were wrong with her run for Congress, and I will admit that, okay? She would use the fact that she was Gen Z to run off on, and while it did help, it wasn't going to let her win. Yes, she has policies, but she wouldn't talk about it as much as Adelita did. She has a website for her policies, but not everyone will go to her website just to see if they should support her. If she wanted to win, she shouldn't have mentioned how she was Gen Z so much and instead focused on talking about her stances. I still supported her because I knew what she stood for. You don't live in her district, state. That's what a lot of people will say because I don't. I don't live in Arizona. I live in Louisiana. House representatives still have an effect on our country. No matter what, they will always be able to vote in their term. They will be able to vote on laws and legislation that affects the whole country, not just their state. So yes, it does affect us whether or not we live in our state or district. Deja believed that housing was a human right, not a privilege. And that's one thing she stood for. That's one of her stances. She believed in economic justice and fair wages. That's another thing. She also believed in protecting social security and equality for the LGBTQ plus community. Now moving on to Adelita. She won the Democratic nominee instead of Deja. This is Adelita. While I didn't support her, she was still a great option, and I'm glad she won compared to the other few that could have. She was endorsed by AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and Bernie Sanders. Both amazing democratic socialists. Most of the time, socialists have amazing views that even Republicans agree on, even if they say they don't. She wants to fight Trump's terrible tariff policies, protect Medicaid, Medicare, and prescription drug caps, reinstate jobs for fired veterans, and promote lower housing costs. Now, whether or not she upholds these will be determined while she is in office the same way it would have been for Deja Foxx. So, I've seen a lot of people upset and sad that Deja Foxx lost, but you shouldn't be. A term is only 2 years, and a lot can happen in those 2 years. I'm not saying it won't. A lot can happen. If we're lucky, if we're lucky, a lot won't happen, but that's not possible. That's not going to happen. A lot will happen in the next 2 years because of Trump and everything he's trying to do. So a lot will happen, and we'll see how she votes, how she sides, and who she really is. Adelita is not at all a bad option. Deja Foxx, after those 2 years for Adelita's term, she can run again. Now, if Adelita is a terrible congresswoman, because she's more than likely going to win the seat, her district is very Democrat. Very, very Democrat. she's not at all a bad option. Her and Deja both believe in most of the same things. When looking through each, I don't remember seeing one that was different, but that's usually how it's going to be if you're from the same party. So I'm glad she won the nomination, even though I didn't support her. Both of them did amazing, but I hope if Deja decides to run again in 2 years, she focuses more on her stances than just using that she is Gen Z. Because the only reason I supported her instead of Adelita is because while they said the same, not said, but had the same stances and policies basically, is that Deja Foxx was Gen Z. But that's also because I am. And, a lot of Gen Z want more representation because we're the future, not millennials, not boomers. Y'all are not the future. Y'all will be the past. That sucks to say, but it's true. Gen Z will have to suffer what millennials and boomers and people before them did. And we already are. Look in places like Palestine. Children are suffering because of old people. There's no reason for old people to be in charge anymore. There's simply no reason. Times changed, and we have to change with them. We can't stay. Change is hard. Change is difficult. It sucks. I know. I hate it so much. But things like this, politics, when they change, people should change too. And there has been a lot of change with people, obviously. Nancy Mace, for example, she once supported the LGBTQ plus community. Now she despises them, all because they got her more money and attention. Okay. Last thing. Remember that House representatives affect the whole country, not just their district that they won. Stop saying that you don't even live here, so it doesn't matter who you support. It does. It really does. While we may not be able to vote in that state or country, I mean not country, district, in that state or district, our support can persuade other voters that do live in that state or district. Voters who may not know. Voters who might support a different person or even different party. And then it could help. Deja Foxx was probably, at the start of the campaign, she was probably one of the least expected people to win. And while she didn't win, a lot of people didn't expect her to be second. A lot of people expected her to be dead last, but she wasn't. While the gap between her and Adelita was still huge. It shows what can happen with just people from other states. Because she mainly relied on media like TikTok. And it helped. It really does. Okay. While we can't vote, it still affects us in or out the district. They represent the whole country and their district the same way a senator represents their state and country. That's all. I'm sorry because I'm reading from a script, okay? And that whole Palestine thing and how times change was not on the script at all. I don't know why I derailed from that, but yeah, times change. People need to change as well. We can't be electing older and older people. Trump is the oldest person to be elected, not Biden. Not Biden. Trump. Old people keep getting us into these terrible situations. Climate change, Palestine, Israel, Iran, my bad. Not Iran. Iran. I'm tired. It's like 10:53 p.m. for me. I'm tired. But yeah. Thank you for watching. To see more videos and such as these, make sure to like and subscribe. Goodbye.